Hey you guys, it's Amy Gretchen. Welcome back to another Project Life Process video. In this video, I'm working on week 34 from 2017. So this week had some big things. Maybe I shouldn't say big things. It was really just the first day of school. And so that was kind of a big thing on the list. And then the other thing was the eclipse. And you guys, I did not realize how awesome the eclipse was going to be until I started seeing stuff come through on Instagram, and I was super sad that I had not gone up to Idaho. I feel like we totally missed out on something really amazing. So I think that I'm going to have to seek out an eclipse somewhere else in the world. I think the next time in the US, I heard it was going to be in Dallas or around that area. So crossing my fingers that I'll be able to see it. Now it's going to cost me more money to get there, but totally worth it, right? Or at least for me, I feel like it totally would be. Anyway, I apologize. I'm getting distracted about the eclipse. What I'm doing right now is I'm going through and I'm looking through the August kit from Studio Calico. So it came in the mail and I hadn't looked through it yet. I think I was using other kits from like Ali Edwards in my project life. And so I just hadn't opened that, which is kind of odd because I usually like to use the, August kit for August weeks because sometimes they correspond with stuff that's going on in the summer and whatnot. But for whatever reason, I just had not used it. And I think it was because I was using the details kits and other things like that. So it was fun to go through and look at the products and see, what things are available. You saw that I pulled out that title card. Really like that title card, and I want to do more like that where instead of, using the roller date stamp, I can then just go ahead and highlight the week that we are on. So I thought that was a fun departure, and I think I need to find more opportunities to do something like that in weeks to come. To underline that, I just used a Tombow marker, and I think it was one of the dual brush. I think it was N95. So I'll have that linked down below. So, and now I'm just really jumping into starting the journaling. The way I definitely have a routine that I work through, and it's, I put down the photos and then I look for the cards. And sometimes I work on embellishments before I start writing the stories just because I'm not sure what I want to do. So at that point, I kind of jump around. But I definitely gravitate towards, picking those cards out for the stories and getting those stories told because those are the two most important things to me, of course. The embellishments are just kind of the icing on the cake to, help make everything look a little bit better, but it's not necessarily the most essential piece of my project life. So really, if all I was doing was writing out my journaling and putting my photos in, I would still do it because I want to have these memories, and these are things that I definitely want to remember. All right, so I'm still debating about a couple other stories that I want to tell. And so I decided to move on to something else, which was this photo of my kids. Was at the first day of school, and I wanted to add their grade. So I grabbed some number stickers. I believe these came from Ali Edwards. I apologize. I know it came from a story kit, but I'm just not entirely sure which one. I love when she offers just a sheet full of numbers because often you get alphabets, but you don't get like a sheet full of numbers. So that's really nice. So I just wanted to add that little detail there. And I decided to go with the yellow because it was what I had in that size. And then I also really liked that there were other little bits and pieces of yellow in the spread. Now, I don't always try and, color coordinate. Sometimes that just happens by accident because I'm using a kit. So it's not like it's something that I think about. But when I'm putting something down, let's say like that heart that I just put down, I'm thinking I've got other yellow pieces. Maybe I should add something yellow to add to it. So that definitely goes through my mind, but I don't feel like things need to be, matchy. Anyway, so those, Those puffy stickers, the hearts and stars, are from Freckled Fawn, and I really love them. They're very soft and silky and puffy, and I don't know, it just reminds me of being a kid, those puffy stickers. So I really like them. I don't always buy, I tend to stick with kits, so I don't always buy a lot of other supplies, but I definitely did in this case, and I'm really happy I did. I really like the colors as well. All right, so now I'm attempting to work on this card that's, all about the eclipse and the story that I wanted to tell from there. But as you'll see, and I don't know if I do that right at this moment, I am just not satisfied with that card. I'm just not in love with it. So I end up going back to it and changing it. And you know what? After looking through, as I'm editing right now, I'm really glad that I did go ahead. It's not sitting right, and I don't know, I couldn't get it to make it feel right. So yeah, I decided against it. So you'll see what I do in just a minute. It looks like I am just trying to figure out those last two cards. And I think instead of a filler card, I decide to do another bit of journaling. So like I said, if I could get, the most important things to me are the photos and the journaling. So if I can get as many stories as I could get told, the better. But that doesn't mean it has to be chock full of stories. It's definitely fine to have filler cards and, taking a little bit of a break. I don't know, those filler cards feel to me like some white space, and I think it's good to have white space in design. So that's why I definitely like using the filler cards as well. So it's fun to get the stories told, but I do believe that not everything has to get told. So I don't know, just something to keep in mind. All right, so I'm looking at this spread, realizing I think I'm really just about done, and I do not like the way that looks. It's just not feeling right to me. So I decided what I figured was I don't need to add all of the glasses. It just is not necessary. So I decided to split the card up into two, so it would look like two 3x4 cards. And I'm going to put the detailed chipboard on one side. And what I'm doing is I'm looking oftentimes on the backs of some of the cards, it will have like a very neutral pattern. So the one I pulled out had a very small light gray polka dot pattern. You can't really see it on the video, but it's not gray. It's a white with a polka dot pattern. And so I thought that would make a really good backdrop to the glasses. I just needed something more than white because I wanted it to feel like two separate, two 3x4 cards. So that's why I decided to do that. And then I'm just writing down the journaling. It's basically the same journaling that I had done before, but I just copied it over again. And now you can see that I'm actually cutting up the glasses. And I'm really glad that I added them in. I always want to add a little bit more ephemera, and I forget. Sometimes I'll have movie tickets, or like when we went to San Diego and we went to the zoo, like I had the cards, and they're really cute cards, but I had forgotten about them and they didn't end up in Project Life. So I was kind of bummed by that, but it's totally fine. I just need to remind myself when I have something like that, some ephemera that I want to include, to slip it into the pocket so that when I pull out my page protectors, I can see it. So if you have that same problem, I would totally suggest it because, in the past when I've done that, that's how it's worked out for me. All right, you guys, so this is the spread this week. Really hope you guys were able to get some inspiration from it. I had a lot of fun working on this one. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And if you like what you saw, please give this video a thumbs up. All right, you guys, we will catch you in the next one. Bye.